Hello and welcome to The Board Crew, episode 24, coming at you 24/7. Actually, no, we're just going to be here for, I don't know, half an hour.
Yeah.
But 24 times. So
Yeah.
I guess that doesn't even add up to like a full day.
It's up to like
No.
a multiple of 12, if that helps.
Yeah. We can fill your waking day now with episodes. Anyway, I'm your host, Ben, and I'm joined with
Bronson.
And Catherine.
Yay!
Hey.
And tonight we're talking about free games to do something completely different. We're going to be talking about Flip 7.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about Super Mega Lucky Box.
I will be talking about Titanic, not James Cameron Titanic, but Titanic.
Thank you. All right. I've been hearing about this. It's been coming up on the
much anticipated game.
Yeah, on the group chats at the board game night. It's this game, and I'm like, is this based on the
James
event
Cameron? No.
or the movie?
No. Anyway.
Or,
Yeah.
Well, no pun intended, but let's dive in.
Hey.
Woo! Okay, so the game that I have so wanted to bring to Board Game Group because I remember it so very fondly from my childhood. I know Deek's a real solo game person, but I used to solo game as well. But I used to solo game by using board games as dolls' houses with varying themes. So the theme for Titanic is the not James Cameron Titanic, where ultimately you're kind of lost in a weird time vacuum where everything and nothing is happening at once.
Wow, well.
And so we're looking at this board, which I've had to bring out because Bronson's not had the privilege of playing it. You have people's suites, you have purses offices, you have tokens and tiles where you can land on, and
it's a full-on luxury ship.
It's
not a small board here.
No, by no means. They've had to fold it up into 3.
Cutting edge technology for the time, I'm sure.
Yeah.
The game is made in 1998 by Universal Games, made in the US of A.
Ooh. When did the movie come out?
1992.
Ah, okay. But you have fond memories of the Titanic.
I have fond memories of not being on the Titanic, but, sort of pretending that the little figurines were little dolls in their houses, and, like they go up and talk to each other like, oh, would you like to be my boyfriend?
Oh, yes.
That kind of thing.
And now I'm also, like, from the colour scheme of these suites, I'm getting a real Cluedo vibe. And we've got, like,
interesting.
The Red Room.
Well, the Red Room, here's the thing. Like, this is like playing Monopoly, but if it was also
On a ship.
You don't buy properties or anything. You just go around, collect stuff, and then try and get off the boat.
Well, we all know I love a game based in reality.
Yeah.
My fond memories of holidaying on a cruise ship also involved going around and
Buying
finding
things.
and buying things. Yeah.
Yeah, so anyway, it's Monopoly with strong... If Monopoly was a LARPing game, this is what it would be.
Ooh, okay. All right. I have just my intrigue has
Peaked.
I'm back in. I was out, and now I'm back in.
Now you're back, hey?
Yes.
And
that's what you want from a cruise ship
that's
passenger.
what you want.
That level of commitment to being in the moment,
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I think that it's really important when you're playing Monopoly to pick really fun people to play Ocean Monopoly plus Iceberg.
Yeah.
I mean, I'd say the fun thing with Monopoly is not to play it, but...
Yeah.
Or you could LARP.
But so this is the kind of game where the people you play with are going to make it or break it?
Yes, very much so. So in the Orange Room, Suite 106, we have Lucky Lopez. And he is from Spain. In the Red Suite, we have Madame Chelsea. She's from France.
Oh.
And all of the characters, all of their cards are written in like a slightly racist accent.
Yep, they are.
With like heavy stereotypes of what you might think of those people.
Ah, yes.
Being so.
I do declare.
I do declare.
My name is Lucky Lopez. I declare. That's how
That's how Lucky
he's
Lopez is.
Spanish.
He's Spanish.
Yeah.
But,
Not Southern
look, well done you on
American.
subverting the stereotype.
I don't see the world that way.
Oh, we
This
also...
board game does.
Oh, well, case in point, Miss Su Yen. She's
Oh, no.
from Japan.
Yeah, this is that, like,
You
First
can
season
guess
Power
what's going to
Rangers,
be on her character
Yeah,
cards
just guess
about
what-
what sort of stuff she's going to talk about.
Yep,
and
yep.
the accent that is going to be heavily implied.
Oh, no.
Guess
Oh,
what colour
no.
she is?
Yeah, I did clock it. But, yeah, kind of like Mighty Morphin Power Rangers. Yeah.
Yeah. I believe on one of her gossip cards, because you can land on a space that's just like you receive a card where it's like a message from somebody. And I believe that the first card we drew when we were playing it was related to dishonour. So,
Yes.
yeah, very precarious, I think.
Right.
And
Yeah, she like found $100 and although it wasn't honourable, was going to split you 50-50.
Yeah.
So if you don't tell the captain.
That's right.
I
Yeah.
don't know how I feel about this game
None
anymore.
of us knew how we felt about it at the time.
Oh,
So
no.
let's talk mechanics.
Yeah,
So
Yeah,
this,
okay.
yeah.
It's a roll and move, right? So
Yeah, it is a roll and move, much like Monopoly.
So you roll the dice, you move. The advantage is at the start, you get to choose which direction you move.
Yes,
There's
so
multiple ways.
yes, so you get to choose where you start. So you can go back and forth and go to the purser's office and safety office and the infirmary, but you know, you could go to jail potentially. Literally jail. There is a literal
Yeah.
jail cell.
Yeah. Shout out to the fans of
Monopoly.
Well, I was going to say Parks and Recreation.
Straight to jail.
It's go to jail in impact font. It's quite intense.
Yeah, okay. So, like at the start, you got to collect 6 items because you're a second-class passenger and you want to be a first-class passenger because only the first-class passengers are going to get on the lifeboats.
And only
Together.
first class passengers have 6 items.
Yeah, that's right.
That's right.
Including like a passport and their room key and their luxury goods in their room.
Oh, and a health check card.
Yeah, you
Health
got to
check,
make sure
gotta
that
be
you're
healthy.
not. Yeah, and the weird thing is, if you're healthy and then you land on someone that's not healthy, you lose your health check because being with the unclean.
Cholera and
Yep.
such.
Yeah.
So-
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're collecting these things and then you go to first class.
Yeah, that's right. And then there's like various rooms you can move through. So there's the gymnasium, the first class lounge. You get to go in the captain's quarters.
La-dee-da-da.
La-di-da.
Except first class is basically snakes and ladders because then you
Oh,
you
right.
you don't get to choose which direction you go. There's only one direction in first class and it's just this long winding path.
And you may have to go back to the very back of the boat again. You may have to go to steerage, which you are really familiar with.
Yeah. I mean, about 3/4 of the way through the game, maybe my character was sent right back to before the start. So I went back to third class
Oofy,
just because I drew a
oofy.
card, which was like, well, your ticket's wrong. Go back to third class.
And
Then I died because I ran out of money. And I think that wasn't good, actually, because then I left the game. I was eliminated.
I felt you really added some flavour. I'm going to hand over your character's passport for your reference.
Yeah, I was Baxter Buckworthy, the Englishman, who basically screwed everyone.
Yes.
So I like tattled on people to the captain and made them like pay me money.
Now, was this like a player like character interpretation, or was this formed
No.
from the cards? And
It's
how-
from the cards,
Yeah.
really. Like when you land on someone else, you exchange a gossip card, but you have no choice about what you
Yeah.
exchange. You just give it and then they read it and that happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm loving these like well drawn out, sophisticated, complex, and multifaceted character development.
Truthfully, every one of the characters pretty much has the same cards. It's just that some of them are incredibly racist.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. Oh, back in the 90s, we called that flavor text.
We just kind of characterised Ben's character as cartoon 90s villain.
Buckworthy!
Buckworthy! You know, how dare you tell the captain about this?
Yes, I'll get you next time, Titanic.
My thoughts on this game is it was a bit like watching an old B movie. Like you can have a laugh with friends and so on. The first bit of the game, there's like half a quarter of a game in there because you get to choose where you move and do stuff and you're running around collecting stuff. The second half is literally a very long game of snakes and ladders.
Yeah.
With no choice or agency.
So
I don't know why that's the end of the game. Like,
Actually, hold on. There is a little bit of choice. So, for example, there's 2 places on the board that you can bring another player to come and have a drink with you. And so you may either choose someone who is not doing so well in the game. They have to be in first class first. But you might be like, oh, come over here, be with me, you know? Or you might be like, oh, someone's about to get off the boat. Come down back to the smoking room and be with me. Can I just say, I've brought the board out because I just want to highlight what a typographical nightmare
It's
the board is.
intense.
It's
There are
just
so
a
many
lot.
fonts. There are so many.
it's an interesting graphic design choice. I'll give it that much.
I would even say that some of it's not legible because like they've got green on slightly less saturated version of that same type of green. And they've got brown on brown and they've got like a limey colour up there and it's just not good.
You know what's crazy is there's some tiles on this board that are giving me advice animal vibes. If you recall some of those, like when memes were really becoming like mainstream normie sort of thing, the advice animals were like at the beginning of that.
Advice animal.
Let's see, there was the socially awkward penguin.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And the gossip tiles on this, they look like that. It's impact font. It's like a picture of someone in the middle. It's a brightly colored background.
Yep.
We might be seeing a like heavy influence to modern memetics.
Proto memes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
I hadn't thought of that.
So, Catherine, would you recommend this game?
I would recommend this game if you have time to kill and you kind of are there to laugh.
I was wondering about the nostalgia. I've had some board games from my childhood that I have really fond memories of and I wish I never revisited.
Right.
And then I have others that I finally understood in adulthood.
Yeah.
I'm wondering where you sit with this.
Look, I'm not going to say it's a childhood ruining experience or anything, but I was hoping it would be more fun because I really talked it up before we played it.
To be fair, I think pretty much everyone at the table had fun.
That's true.
It was in spite of the game.
But
everyone leaned in, they laughed, and we were just riffing on each other, and So I think in that sense, if that's what you want to do, have an experience where you're just laughing and doing silly stuff around the board game.
Yeah.
This kind of demands that you do that. Taking it seriously is going to be painful.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's more of a framework for fun than a giver of fun.
Yeah.
No. Well, thanks to the devs. Wonderful game.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, Titanic the board game. Play it if you want.
All right. I've got a pretty good game. I've got a pretty mega game, super game, a pretty box game.
Well, I love a box game.
Yeah. Let's talk about Super Mega Lucky Box. It's a pretty recent game, 2021.
Nice.
Yeah. Well,
That is recent for Bronson.
that is recent for me. I mean, I'm not cutting my teeth with games like Titanic, but yeah, I tend to be a little behind the times. Super Mega Lucky Box is by Phil Walker Harding.
Aussie designer. Love it.
Yeah. So if you've played Sushi Go, you've played a Phil Walker Harding.
Yeah. Squiggly gum.
Squiggly Gum. Yeah.
Aww.
Like if you've played an Aussie board game, chances are it's a Phil Walker Harding game.
That's true. He's fairly prolific. It'd be him or Matthew Dunstan for the most designed board games as Aussies, I think. Oh, well, Martin Wallace, if we claim him, since he lives in Australia now. So
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
We'll take him.
yeah.
You can have Kylie Minogue. Super Mega Lucky Box is pretty fun, pretty simple. It's write and play.
Oh, yep.
Is that the right name for that mechanic?
Is it a roll and write or a flip and write?
Flip and write.
Okay.
Flip and write.
Flip a card.
Yeah.
Write some stuff.
Yeah. A game of 4 rounds that involve flipping 9 cards out of a deck of 18. There's like numbers from 1 to 9. There's 2 of them, so 18 cards, and you shuffle them and you pick 9. So you don't know which ones are going to come up. Flipping them and you're writing them. Oh, there's a 9. What are you writing them on? You're writing them on like the sort of bingo cards. 3x3 number cards. And you're trying to make columns and rows and eventually complete your bingo card.
Cool.
Pretty simple. What makes it fun is that you are trying to get complete bingo card boards earlier on in the game because they are worth more points. And there are also extra tokens. Like if you get a row or a column complete and it has a star as its bonus, then that adds to your star points, which exponentially increase. If you get 1, it's worth 1. But you get 3 stars in a round, that's a good round. That's 9 points.
Nice.
Ooh.
Yeah. And then there's the moon. If you have the most moons at the end of the game, you get 6 points.
Woo.
But also if you have the least moons at the end of the game, you get minus 6 points.
Oh, so you got to invest in those moons.
Well, yeah, you're just going to have more moons than your neighbor.
Yeah, just make sure you're not the chump with no moons.
Yeah. That's it. I'm over here on Tatooine. Wait, no, that has 2 suns.
Jupiter.
Yeah,
Jupiter's got lots of moons.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. Well, I'm definitely not living on Earth. We all know that. I kind of lucked onto this. I was so curious. The title grabbed me. If you're an edgelord or a bit of a meme head, you might be familiar with video game reviewers turned like podcaster community Super Mega. And I thought this was affiliated to or syndicated with them. It's not. It has nothing to do with them. So don't affiliate the two. In fact, just ignore what I've said. Yeah, that's
just
good
cut
enough.
this bit out.
Cut it out, leave it in. I don't know. But yeah, this has nothing to do with Super Mega other than the font is similar. It's bright and it's fun. I guess that's similar. I think those boys are bright and fun. Yeah.
And how long do you reckon a game of this? It sounds like a short.
Yeah, 15.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. It's pretty simple and it runs pretty quick. And yeah, there is a luck-based element to it in that you don't know the cards you're going to get, but you are making some informed decisions as well in that because you have a choice of those bingo cards to choose from. You don't want to pick cards with the same numbers.
Yeah.
Because there's only going to be at most 2 of that number. And whilst there is, I didn't even talk about the lightning bolts. Gosh, I talked about the stars and the moons, and I didn't talk about the lightning bolts. Let's say you drew a 5, but you really wanted to cross out a 7. You can do that. You just need 2 lightning bolts.
Ah.
Yeah. But they're a finite resource, like in real life.
Yeah. I guess.
Come to the board crew for facts about astronomy, weather,
atmospheric discharge.
Yeah.
This sounds pretty much right in Phil Walker Harding's wheelhouse of kind of that nice blend between simple mechanics, little element of luck, risk.
Yeah, player interaction.
Yeah, player interaction and just nice, quick, slam out a game. Everyone has fun. And it does sound like even if you lost, you'd kind of feel some sense of achievement by like marking off your little bingo cards.
Absolutely. I don't know if there is a way to not get any points in this game.
Yeah.
You're coming home with someone.
Yeah. It sounds good. I'm keen to try.
Hey, if you have fond memories of like family dinners out at the RSL and watching the Kino screen, this is for you.
Yeah.
This is it. Shout out RSLs.
Not Spawn.
No, not yet.
If you'd like to sponsor the board crew, get in touch.
I swear I'll behave. It's fun. You could play several rounds without getting bored, or you could use it as your filler game. It's possible to bootleg or print and play this, but I would recommend getting the board game, getting the box. It's bright, it's fun, it'll look great on a shelf, small, And, always good to support your board game designers.
Yeah, and Phil Walker Harding tends to have really nice looking games, whether they're published by his own company, Joey Games, or whether otherwise. Like his games often have that bright, colourful pop. And it's on BGA too.
Oh,
People
yeah.
try it there.
Yeah, which is how I got onto it. It was crazy. I wasn't even looking for it. I wasn't looking for anything like it. I think I was going for a game of Wingspan or something like that. And have you tried Super Mega Lucky Box? Oh, it got me. Those targeted ads on BGA.
It just sounds like a very ironic title, It just sounds like one of those ones where you're going to approach it with sort of the similar energy you would the Titanic board game.
Yeah. Because a title that exciting and engaging, surely the game's going to be anything but. It's trying to subvert and poke fun at anything
self-aware.
That is super or mega or lucky or in a box. But this is all four.
That's great. Well, that's
Super Mega Lucky Box.
final game we're talking about is Flip 7, the greatest card game of all time, according to the box.
Allegedly.
And hasn't this been a contentious point?
I mean, this is a bit like the Super Mega Lucky Box kind of thing, where you go, if you're going to try that hard, surely something's wrong.
What are you making up for?
Yeah. But Flip 7 is a pressure luck race to 200 game. So you're going to get 200 points, and basically you're going to be flipping cards. The aim is to get as many points as possible, hopefully flipping over 7 number cards.
Yeah.
The trick is there are 12 12s, 11 11s, 10 10s, all the way down to 1 1 and 1 0, because I guess you can't have 0 0s. It'd be pointless.
Well, you could.
I guess you could.
Yeah. I mean, they have -1, -1.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, every time you buy this game, you have to give a card to own it.
Yeah.
Whoa.
And you never know which one it was.
Yeah. The aim is when it comes around to your turn, you're either going to say hit me or stop. If you hit, then you flip over another card. That's great because that's more points. Problem is, flip over the same number that you've already got, you bust. You get
pairs.
no points. For
No
the round.
pairs, no points.
No pairs. No pairs allowed in Flip 7. It's got to be unpaired. So, you get a 12. That's 12 points. Great. Problem is, there's 11 other 12s in the deck.
Yeah.
Whereas if you get a 2, it's only 2 points. But what's the chance that you're going to get that other 2?
Okay. Yeah.
So, it could be great.
And then reshuffled after every round?
No. So as cards go out, they stay out. It's quite a big deck. And so you kind of have a bit of a vibe about which cards have gone in the discard. Can't look through the discard, but I can be like, man, we've had maybe 6, 7, 12s?
Yep.
12s should be fine now, right?
I'm picking up and have experienced this when playing it, that feeling of confirmation bias when, if you're only looking for red cards, that's all you're going to see.
Yeah.
It turns out there are 12 other numbers, aside, including the 0, aside from the 12. Yeah, they're good to look at too.
I mean, I've played this game so many times now, and it's amazing how rarely people bust on a 12.
Yeah.
You always get done by the 7.
I got done by the 7.
Yeah.
I had a second chance. I flip over another second chance, and then I get another 7. And then I think what did bust me was a 7. It's so... I want to know what the numbers are like. What? Yeah.
There are 7 7s, and you got 4 of them.
Yeah. Go to the comment section and break down that maths for me, please. Because I wasn't feeling very super mega or lucky about that round of Flip 7.
I was feeling super mega lucky in the game of Flip 7.
I mean, you were right near there. You were gonna win, and then Jenny snuck through. So
yeah, well, it's not even that Jenny snuck through. So here's the thing: I had already gotten my 200 points. I knew at the end of the round I was in. I just thought, I think that Jenny may get more points in this round, so I need to beat her. And so I then just like, hit me with it. And then I busted and then I came second.
It's tough. Yep. And a nice little bit of extra spice is there's like special cards in there, like a freeze card. You take someone else around. Flip free. You got to flip free cards straight away.
It's
either
like,
you or someone else.
Like the attack card in Exploding Kittens.
Yeah. It's kind of like the reverse or the draw 4 or something.
Probably a more universal.
But I actually really love Flip 7. I love the feeling of the only person you got to blame is yourself when you bust. Well, unless some jerk like puts a flip free on you or something.
Well, I don't know. I mean, like, I have a system. I don't know about any of you.
Didn't you come last in the game we just played?
Yeah, but it's not my fault. It's the system's fault.
Okay.
The only problem is that I need to refine my system. It's not my fault. It's the system's fault.
Tell us about your system, Bronson.
Right. So if I feel like, because I'm not really thinking about the score or anything, I am just like, I genuinely, whenever this game, I need to see someone about this because this game makes, I feel this sort of, what's it called, a rush?
Right.
Every time we play this game, Bronson's fingers are twitching.
I do the spirit fingers from Bring It On.
The other great thing is, like, the box says this plays free plus players. Yeah. Which, again, sounds insane. Yeah. But I played this with 12, I think. Wow. And it's a great game at 12. And we just played a game with 4 of us. Great game at 4 people.
Yeah.
It blows my mind that, like, this is just as fun with a huge group as it is a tiny group.
Yeah. Isn't that the thing with those board games with wide player ranges? Yeah, you can play 7 Wonders with 2 people. It's not that fun.
No. You shouldn't.
You can solo Wingspan. It's not that fun. Yeah, this is genuinely a great game, having played it with 4 people. I've played it twice with 4 people, and I think that's enough for me, an authority on board games, to say that this could be the greatest of all time.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm ready to give it that, but I would rate it really highly. How about you, Catherine?
You know, I really just wanted to break down the semantics of this, the greatest card game of all time.
Can you read us that quote again, which is on the box, a very shiny box?
Yeah, so the box says, Flip 7, the greatest card game of all time, press your luck, race to 200. Oh, sorry, this is a game by Eric Olson too. Shout out to Eric.
Shout out Eric Olson!
Yeah.
I hope
Published
you hear
by
this.
the Op Games.
Cool. Yeah, the greatest card game of all time.
All time. And see, I think, okay, so here's the discussion I was having earlier. If you're a believer in the multiverse, is time all time? You have a pie, right? You can eat all the pie, but you can be in possession of 2 pies. So you can eat all of the pie, but have another pie. And so if it's the greatest game of all time, is it all of just this universe's time?
Yeah.
Or is it all of
all universes
times? And that I find hard to believe if that's the case.
Yeah, I feel like they didn't take that into account when they put it on the box.
What I infer from that is Catherine is saying it is the greatest game of all time in this time.
That's not what I'm saying. I think that the greatest card game of all time is optimistic.
Yeah.
That said, I had a great time playing it. There were lots of laughs, and I just think, you know, if you've got a short attention span at the end of the day, it's pretty good.
Yeah. So if you are playing a game of Flip 7, in the time that you are playing it, it is the greatest game of all time.
Okay.
In that moment.
Right.
Sure.
That's an objective truth.
Well,
Sorry.
actually, all right. Hear me out.
I don't think we need too much timey-wimey.
Dutch Blitz is probably just as enjoyable.
That is a solid game.
Is it a card game?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a card game.
Okay.
You've not played Dutch Blitz?
I have not.
Oh, I feel like that's another game that Bronson would be like.
Here we go. All right, so I've still got to play Vast the Caverns, but I have played Flip 7 now.
You've played Flip 7?
So, you know, at least I'm accountable.
It is a very nice Art Deco style.
Yeah.
And it's a shiny box, and it goes hard.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. For a bunch of numbers on cards.
Yeah.
It's pushing.
Yeah. Look, it might not be the greatest card game of all time, but it could be. Well, hey, we talked about a board game that is making the bold claim of being the greatest of its kind. This has definitely been the greatest episode 24 of the Board Crew.
That's true. This is the best 24 that we've ever done.
Yep.
And ever will do.
Yep. Of all time.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Multiverse included.
Yeah. Come at me otherwise. If you think it could have been better, I don't think I would need to know. But hey, let's talk about the board games that we want to play. The ones that this week we were really taken by. I'm going to break tradition here. I'm going to repeat myself. And the game I want to play again this week is Flip 7.
Nice.
Who saw that one coming?
Yeah. Yeah, look, for me, it's a toss-up between Flip 7 and, honestly, Super Mega Lucky Box sounds pretty cool. I love a Phil Walker Harding.
Yep.
So I'm keen to try that one. I suspect after playing it, I'll still like Flip 7 more, but because I haven't played it, that's the one that I'm going for.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I'll set up a BGA, turn-based.
Sounds good.
And if you ever want to play me at Super Mega Lucky Box at the Bronson, I'm not that good at it. How about yourself, Catherine?
Look, I don't care. I unironically really like the vibes of the Titanic game. Yeah. It makes me feel good, but also really quite embarrassed about bringing it to other people, but also fun times to be had.
Hey, everyone had fun playing it.
We all had fun. I had fun. I nearly cried, laughing so much.
Do you have that feeling near and far?
Wherever you are.
Hey.
Well, thanks for... I'm not going to sing.
I wish I brought my melodica in. I would have done a wonderful rendition. Like the 24th hour of the day, this episode is finito.
We look forward to getting bored with you next time. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Every night.
In my dreams.
And this was the Board Crew. We have a whole lot of fun making this and would love it if you could just leave us a review so we can make our content even better for you. You can roll over to our socials to find out what's going on and continue the conversation there. See you next time.
Object permanence. I don't have that yet. I'll get there.
That, like the Onion video about like how the high school seniors can't grasp basic concepts like object permanence.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Bronson's going to be reviewing Peekaboo.
Yes. This is a crunchy game.
This blew my mind.
Many mechanics.